So the art of allowing really is about getting in the vortex. Allowing is in the vortex, resistance is not in, and of course there are varying degrees. If you're in despair, you're far from your vortex. If you're in hope, you're close enough that it's bringing you in every now and again, you see. So our desire for you is that you understand the vortex. We're not ever going to say to you, get in the vortex and stay there forever, because you came forth to explore contrast. Of course you're going to have step one experiences. Just don't make a career out of your step one experiences. Make a career out of your step three experiences. Let being in the vortex be what's most important to you. So, we are eager to talk with you about anything that is important. There is nothing off limits. It is our desire to inspire you, lure you, drag you in any way possible into the vortex. We use every trick in our bag of tricks, and it is a deep bag of tricks, in order to call you into the vortex. You'll find us not too eager to listen to you beat the drum of your out of the vortex conversation. We'll let you get away with it for a little while, but don't be surprised if somebody sits in the chair and we let them get away with it, and when you get in the chair, we don't let you get away with it. There is no accounting to the way you will be treated by us. Because we have the benefit of knowing what's in your vortex and knowing where you are in vibrational proximity to it, and we'll offer the best that we can offer to make it the easiest path possible for you to get in. But these things are necessary before you will receive the benefit of this gathering. First, you must accept that you are more than you see here in these physical bodies. Do you? Next, you must accept that the non-physical part of you, some of you call it the soul of you, the God of you, exists even though you are in this physical body. Is that something that you can accept? Next, it is necessary that you acknowledge that you and we are vibrational beings, and it is a vibrational relationship that we have. Good enough? Next, it is of tremendous value for you to acknowledge that the emotions that you feel are your indicator about the variable between the perspective of who you really are and the perspective of who you are being in your body. The perspective of the source part of you, the larger part of you, and the physical part of you that is beating the drum, having the conversation of something here and now. Those two vibrational aspects of you are playing against one another all day, every day, and your emotions are your indicator of that play. Easy to understand? So when you're feeling joy, your thought is in agreement with the thought of source. When you are loving someone and rippling with goosebumps, those goosebumps are your inner being's acknowledgement and agreement with the thought that you have focused within you. When you are hating someone, resenting someone, regretting something, that icky feeling within you is your vibrational emotional guidance system letting you know that while you have the free will to focus as you wish here in this physical body, you've focused yourself out of alignment with who you are, and the resistance is evident in the negative emotion. Easy enough to accept? Well, if those premises all make sense to you, then buckle your seatbelts and get ready for an in the vortex experience, because it's who you are, and it's where you belong, and it's not a difficult thing to get in. And after you get in on a pretty consistent basis, you will never again feel uncomfortable about the vortex spitting you out, because you know how to get right back in. In other words, you'll just regroup and go back in and massage the thought into a way that feels better. And we'll offer you some processes that make that easy. So, what do you want to talk about? Some things. It'll be a wonderful unfolding, so just relax and accept that you'll hear what you've come to hear, provided you're in the vortex. Again, right here. Someone inside the vortex cannot communicate with someone not in the vortex. You've been trying that, haven't you? You ever noticed that you're on such different wavelengths that there's no possible way? Have you ever been living something and known it fully and tried to explain it to somebody who doesn't get it? And have you noticed that it doesn't matter how many years you spend trying to get them to get it? They never get it. It's like speaking different languages, you say. There's the in the vortex language, and there's the out of the vortex language. In the vortex language sounds like life's good in this way, and this way, and this way. Outside the vortex language sounds like life sucks in this way, and this way, and this way. And what we're wanting you to understand is that, yes, of course, you know what you don't want, but you also know what you do want, and the art of allowing, which is what we call these seminars, is about utilizing your emotional guidance system in order to recognize which end of the wave you're on every subject in the world. In other words, you, in the living of life and in the sorting through the contrast, you have launched a myriad of never-ending desires. And those desires are being held in a vibrational escrow by the larger part of you, who remains always on the knowing what I do want end of the vibrational stick. So you sort of understand, don't you, that you are more than you see here in these physical bodies? You are vibrational beings. You are source energy in physical form. You were non-physical energy before you expressed yourself here in this physical body. But when this you that you know as you was born into this magnificent physical body, the larger part of you still remains non-physically focused. Over time, man has tried to define that part of you. Sometimes you call it soul, or source, or God. We want you to understand that no matter what you call it, the larger part of you will always be non-physically focused, and the larger part of you will always be the holder of the leading edge desires that you have launched from your physical experience. In other words, sometimes physical humans have it backwards. They say, oh, non-physical is source-like, and it's all finished because it's not coming forth to suffer anymore. It's not coming forth to strive or to progress. And here we are, humble humans that we are, here serving our whatever it is, and learning and growing or climbing the karmic wheel or whatever. And hopefully we'll be able to prove ourselves worthy enough that we can return to heaven and never have to come back to earth again. And we say, you could not have it more screwy, because you are source energy, you are eternal beings, you are non-physical energy, and you love to send a part of that which is you into a leading edge experience where the environment can evoke from you new ideas of expansion, the evolution of all that is, not just the species on your planet, the evolution of all that is happening because of this leading edge time-space reality that you are focused within. So as you come forth and you are exposed to contrast and you know what you don't want, rockets of desires exude from you. And the non-physical part of you, that larger eternal part of you, rides that rocket and holds steady to that vibrational frequency. Now you're constantly amending it, but the source within you constantly holds to your new decisions. And every negative emotion that you ever feel, every single one, you or anyone you know, is because you have in your physicality expanded vibrationally to a new place. The larger part of you is holding to that new vibrational latitude, but negative emotion within you means you're not keeping up. You expanded, but your thoughts are still focused upon the contrasting environment that caused the expansion. It's like someone going to their mailbox, finding more bills than they can pay, feeling awful about it because they want to be responsible and keep their promises. They actually feel fear because they are focusing upon the exact opposite of what they want. They want prosperity. They're focused on the opposite of it. They want to be responsible and keep their commitments. They're focused upon not being able to do that. So as they focus on this reality, they feel negative emotion. Negative emotion not because they're focused upon reality, negative emotion because the reality that they're focused upon has them offering a different vibration than their desire. So they take the emotional hit, and we say, fine, nothing wrong with that, because in that exaggerated moment, you launched more rockets of desire. You asked for even more prosperity. You asked for even more ability to keep your promises to the financial lenders. You launched even more rockets to keep your commitments to yourself. You launched even more rockets, but are you following the train of those rockets? Are you making an effort to think about how nice it will be when the money catches up with the vibration? Or are you beating the drum, it's been this way too long? It's hard. I don't like this. It's not fair. It's that one's fault and that one's fault and that one's fault and that one's fault. And we say, you have an option in every moment to lean in the direction of who you really are or lean in opposition to who you really are. And every time you lean in opposition to who you really are, you feel worse. And every time you lean in the direction of who you are, you feel better. So when we say to you, are you enjoying the contrast of your time and place? If you are over here, if you have practiced yourself into vibrational alignment, if in the moment we ask the question, you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, in perfect vibrational alignment with who you are, when we say, are you enjoying the contrast of your time and place? You say, yes, indeed. Because the contrast of my time and place has caused me to expand way over here with all kinds of wonderful things. And now I've learned to tune myself predominantly into vibrational alignment with those things. I'm living a spectacular life in terms of manifestation. But even more important, I feel great because there's no separation between me and me. But if we ask the question, are you enjoying the contrast of your time and place? And you're standing way over here, launching rockets like crazy, but not lining up with them. I know what I don't want. 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 Abraham, you've got to be crazy. Are you kidding? Why would I enjoy this contrast? This contrast sucks. Why would I enjoy being over here in a body that doesn't feel good or in an experience that doesn't feel good? Why would you ask such a question? And we say, we ask the question because we know the benefit of your contrast and your asking. And we know also that the most exhilarating moments of your life experience are those moments between having launched a rocket and not being up to speed with it, but turning and going. That's where exhilaration is. That's where enthusiasm is. That's where passion is. So today, as we're talking with you about anything that's important to you, we see our greatest advantage to you to coax you into the vortex. One thing you'll notice about us and about your own inner being is that we won't come out of the vortex where you are, ever. In fact, that's why you have negative emotion. If we would come out and complain with you, your complaint would feel blissful because there would be no separation. But since your inner being does not come out and complain with you, Esther can drag Jerry over there. Jerry can drag Esther over there. In other words, you can drag each other over there. And if they don't come easily, you get really feisty with them. You say, you're not supporting me. I think you should support me. How come you're never there for me? How come you're never there for me? And the correct answer to that question is because I'm over here in the vortex for me. Because if I come over there out of my vortex for you, I'm worthless to you. We can just bang over here together in misery, which justifies that until death do us part stuff that we, no matter how miserable we are, we'll stay together. But the source within you will not come out of the vortex when you are focused upon something that activates within you something different than you are. You are a lover. And when you hate, you're separating yourself from who you are. Separation's too strong a word because you cannot ever sever yourself from that. And sometimes you think you would like to. In other words, when you are really vibrating in opposition to who you are, it feels miserable. But you only have one option to close that gap. You only have one option if you want to feel better, and that is find the best feeling thought. Adjust your vibration. Adjust your vibration, which means adjust your thought, which means adjust your belief, which means adjust your vibration, which means stop the resistance. And when you stop the resistance, you will become a cooperative component. And when you're a cooperative component, you'll be drawn in just like all of the other cooperative components, and you'll live happily ever after. Until the next contrasting thing throws you out of the vortex. But no problem. Once you get out, it's no problem because you know how to get back in. And you know, also, we want you to remember that there are 3 steps to the creative process. Step 1 says, contrast will cause you